40 years of developing hockey players from youth to the pros, Minnesota Hockey Camps has a player development program for you. Located in Breezy Point, Minnesota, our professionally coached on-ice development sessions, off-ice speed training, weight room sessions, stick handling sessions, shooting skill sessions are the right program for you. MHC takes great pride in its tradition with developing NHL players like Chris Stewart, Ryan Bugsy Malone, Scotty Hartnell, and TJ Oshie. Our dedicated staff is ready for you. Come check us out at MinnesotaHockeyCamps.com. Sign up for your chance to become the player you've always wanted to be. Hashtag who will be next.
Cold showers, leaking pipes, furnace giving you the chills? Look no further. At Iron Range Plumbing and Heating, we've got you covered. From expert plumbing solutions to HVAC magic and all sheet metal work, we are your one-stop shop for comfort and reliability. Professional service from a team that cares. Say goodbye to household woes and hello to peace of mind. Call Iron Range Plumbing and Heating today and feel the difference.
At Grand Rapids Chevrolet GMC in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, we have the trucks. Over 47 new Silverados and Sierras sitting currently on the lot with more to come. We have all the options: LT, RST, LTZ, High Countries, ZR2s. We have heavy duties. We have Sierra, SLT, Elevations, Denali's. We are equipped for the truck you are looking for. With great rebates currently, with up to $12,500 off on select models, now would be a great time to take advantage of savings and get yourself into a new truck today. Grand Rapids GM in Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to the Tea with Miss McGill Show, presented by our friends over at Arrow Auto Glass and Supply. Arrow Auto provides home services like installing and repairing your windows, glass doors, and glass shower doors. Arrow Auto offers commercial and business glass doors. They install them and they repair them. And of course, Arrow Auto is your local source for windshield repairs and replacement with same-day services available. All of their work is warranty, and they accept all insurance companies for your convenience. If it's flat glass, think of Arrow Auto. Downtown Virginia and downtown Hibbing. It is Puka speaking. Once again, the star of the show, Coach Reed Larson. Week 11's behind us. We're into week 12, episode 125.
Holy cow!
Yeah. We're a century and a quarter.
Wow.
Century and a quarter.
Wow.
So, because remember we were crossing 100 about a year ago? That's when we had the party and all that. We're gonna have the party. We'll talk about that when we get into February. But so, Coach, been under the weather.
You know, I've been battling this little sinus thing and had a cough and kind of hit a head last night, so I had to pull the old albuterol out and kind of give my lungs a little bit of a shot here today. Try to open things up. So I'm feeling a lot better. It's really, there's nothing else. It's just a cough. So hopefully we don't have to deal with that too much throughout this thing.
All right, perfect. What's I going to say? Oh, Super Bowl is set. What do you think?
I don't know. I haven't really paid much attention, but I did watch a little bit of each game, and I thought, I think the right teams are in.
Yeah.
I think the right teams are there. I think it's going to be a good and fun Super Bowl Sunday to watch.
Yeah, I think it should be a good game. And you had the weekend off. I was just thinking that as you were talking about the weekend. How was the weekend off? Kind of nice.
It was good. It was. We talked about we were going to try to get out and go someplace as a couple, the wife and I, and maybe we get over to Virginia, try to get to Rink Bar and Grill, but we did not get out because it was so cold.
Yeah, it was cold.
Like, I'm not leaving the house. I'm going to sit in front of that really, really expensive fireplace that my wife wanted to buy, and I'm going to use it.
Oh, a nice gas one?
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, the gas bill is probably not going to be very good.
Well, everyone's gas bill is going to be not very good. So everyone, brace yourself for February. Put a few pennies away.
Yeah, right. You better talk to your financial advisor.
Yeah. And don't sell your gold. All right. But before we dive in, subs over the last week: Brittany Kay, Sam Gibson, Chelsea Carlson, Tyler Miller, Sean Mitchell, Lori Barato, Jason Kelly, and the brand new daddy, Bo Vlakovic from over there in Hibbing. So be just like these fine folks and subscribe to America's fastest growing hockey show right now. Okay, it's always that time. We're going to race into the games of the week, presented by the Ring Sports Bar and Grill. Actually, I was there last night. I had to go to Rock Ridge for basketball, so I kind of spent the day over there. It was Taco Tuesday, so my buddy I was with had the tacos. I just needed wings. I needed some sweet chili wings. So just after the Hockey Hall of Fame, breakfast on the weekends, lunch, dinner, daily specials. Like I just said, it was Taco Tuesday. It's Wing Wednesday. Monday's burger night. The legendary fish fry, I did confirm it is all you can eat again. So the legendary Quad Cities fish fry at the Ring Sports Bar and Grill is all you can eat once again on Fridays, and then it's prime rib Saturdays. Remember the breakout rooms if you're getting ready to plan that end of the season banquet. The Ring Sports Bar and Grill is the place to be. 248-8582, 248-8582, or the ringsportsbarandgrill.com. When you see Michelle there, tell her the Tea with Miss McGill show sent you. All right, we previewed this one last week, so a big one last night. Down in Duluth, number 17 Duluth Marshall and the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. I'm excited to hear about it because I was kind of looking at the shots and stuff. Did Grand Rapids escape with a 6-4 win?
Yeah, we escaped that game, and the shots were flopped. They were 46-25. Duluth Marshall outshot us.
Okay.
They had 25 shots in the third period on us.
Wow.
This brings us to a couple of things. There's a few things that are kind of talking points in this game. Very rarely this year, unless we were playing, a lower end team, have we played with the lead. When we're playing a high end lead, we've had to fight back all the time, all year long, battle hard in the third period, and naturally throughout the course of the year this year, our worst period has always been the second period. Last night, our best period was the second period. We pumped it in and went into the locker room up 5-2. That was uncharted territory for us. We were not used to being in that spot. There was a lot of things kind of going on in the building. They had a little presentation that was kind of cool for the players. They had teacher appreciation night, so it kind of was an interesting start at the beginning. But for whatever reason last night, and this sounds like a really dumb excuse, but I think any coach or player would agree with me that this was kind of awkward. Between periods had ridiculously, outrageously long intermissions.
Oh.
They have one of those Olympia Zambonis that they use to resurface the ice. And I'm not kidding you, it took them 20 minutes to resurface the ice.
Really?
In between periods. I can't believe how long the breaks were.
Okay.
It sounds like a dumb excuse, but I think anybody would hey, we're pumping.
Well, you run 2 here.
Right? Yeah, we do in our games, and they're usually off in less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Boom, we're ready to go. The ice is settling. Right? But a dumb excuse, but at the same point, it's uncharted territory for us. We went into the third period after having a great second period. We'd scored a couple of power play goals in the second period, looking pretty good. Come out winning up 5-2 in the third, and now we're playing with a lead, which we haven't done very much this year.
Sure.
Playing with a lead in the third period. And we just kind of caught ourselves gripping the sticks. There's a team there in Duluth Marshall that has done a really good job of fighting back all year long, and being a team that if they are down, they push hard and they can score goals. They got a lot of skill up front. They got a good goaltender.
Yep.
They tied Hibbing with how many seconds left?
And that was all third period too.
Yeah,
they were all in the third.
All over the place. Well, we got caught on our heels. It was kind of a little bit of a mental check for us. Like, are you playing to win or are you playing to not lose? Yeah. And that was a little bit for us last night. We had we escaped with a win. We earned it because the first 2 periods we played pretty good, but the third it was like we're hanging on for dear life. And credit to Marshall, they came out and they pushed. And normally a team that's down 5-3, you can expect there's going to be a 5 or 6 minute period where they have a hard pushback.
Yeah.
And if you can survive that pushback, usually that's all they got. Well, they had a pushback the entire period. We actually had maybe about a 5-minute period where we made some more plays and got things deep and were playing hard down in their zone. But there was about 10 to 12 minutes where it was boom, 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 boom coming at us. Okay. The third period. Luke Sherlock was stellar in the nets last night. He did a great job between the pipes for us. 46 shots on net. He had 42 saves last night. That's pretty good.
So did it get to 5-4 and then you get an empty net, or
it was 5-2
heading
to
in, right?
3.
5-3, okay.
And then we got the empty netter to make it 6-3.
Okay.
And then at the end of the game, they had a play, and we had a goofy play literally with 3 seconds left in the game. They get a 2-on-1 and scored just as the buzzer was going off. Okay. So really, I mean, if we survive an extra second, it's 6-3, but they scored literally as the buzzer was going off. They called it a goal. It was 6-4.
Okay. Well, hey, a win's a win. But yeah, like you said, the Hilltoppers have provided plenty of hockey action up here in Norton. We talked about that last week.
That's going to be a fun playoff game. It really is. It's two teams that are looking for a top seeding spot, and two teams that could very likely be playing in the semifinals against each other or playing against each other in the championship game.
Yeah, sure. Okay. All right, well, let's move on to another potential contender, Rock Ridge. Now, they're coming off Hockey Day on Saturday, and we're going to get off course here just a tiny bit, but of course, under the bright lights on Saturday night, statewide covered game, but no crowd for those of you that watch. There's no surprise what I'm saying here. So I was going to ask Coach Larson just a little bit about Hockey Day here. I've been talking to people. As Hockey Day, this was the 20th, correct? 20th anniversary. Is it kind of run its course a little bit? I mean, or is there anything is there something you could think of or that could reboot this thing?
I got a few complaints about Hockey Day, and we talked about it last week. Like, I sure hope that there's going to be some streaming and places to find it or watch it on TV. And to me, it feels like Hockey Day in Minnesota, the only place you're going to watch it is on Valley Sports.
Yeah.
Or Flow Hockey. It's like or whatever, that FanDuel.
Valley and FanDuel are kind of
It's like
same.
you're on a station that most people are going to have to pay a lot of extra money just to get that station. Like, can it be on 45?
Yeah, right.
Or I don't care who, but can it be on like a basic kind of a cable station? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Can't the Wild do that? I mean, they're the ones who took this thing over. It actually, the Wild had nothing to do with it when we first started it, and then they wanted their fingers in it, and then they got it, and they've brought it to another level. But I don't know, 20 years of doing this, I feel like when it wasn't as big of a production as it is right now, it was a lot better. Okay. It was more...
Yeah, I agree.
It was more
just like
attended.
Yeah.
But this was the 20-year anniversary, and they made it an entire week long of things that are going on. Instead of Hockey Day, it was Hockey Week.
Yes.
So many games being played and this and that. I mean, back in the day when it was just 2 games or 3 games being played on that day, I feel like it was better.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I mean, I'm not complaining because I did sit on the couch and I watched the entire day on Saturday. I watched all of it. It was so stinking cold outside. I watched it. I watched the first one with the girls' game with Hastings and... Who did they play? No, off the top of my head, I can't even remember. I watched that game, and then I watched East Ridge and the Hastings boys, and then I watched Rock Ridge and St. Thomas Academy.
Yep.
And I like all of the in-between periods stuff, in between the game conversations, all the stories. I like to listen to that stuff, all the history of hockey, and that's pretty cool. I enjoyed doing that. So has it changed? Yeah, it has changed a little bit. I mean, bigger isn't always better.
Right.
Well,
and we look at the crowd there. I mean, people say it was cold. Well, it wasn't as cold as he. As a matter of fact, I noticed Coach Niskin, and he had a baseball cap on.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2 or 3. It wasn't like 30 below. I mean, I'm sure there was a wind chill factor there, but and of course playing St. Thomas, where we don't have a large student body and just a large enrollment, it could kind of have something to do with it. But I was shocked at how small the crowd was.
Yeah, it wasn't that cold. You didn't have anybody's fingers freezing or toes freezing off. You take a 30-second shift, you go back to the bench and you sit down for another minute and a half. And when you sit down, you've got these heaters in the bench.
Okay.
It's warm in that bench.
Okay.
Right, when we were in Minneapolis with the girls team back in 2020, I remember I go to the game with my big Carhartt bibs and a deer hunting jacket on, blaze orange, and wearing an orange and green hat for GRG. And I remember going in there and looking at Brad, and I'm looking over going, oh, I'm hot. Because it's just rolling up underneath you. You're not out there playing. I'm sure they get a little chilly on their face and hands and come back in, and you see, I don't know if you saw when kids are taking their gloves off, they usually wear like rubber
Like a
gloves.
liner, yeah.
Rubber gloves on, or slide them back on. That's just so the sweat doesn't, get there and freeze your gloves up
Yeah,
and
sure.
whatnot. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it wasn't as cold. I mean, I don't know. Someone could say in the comments what the actual lowest temperature was for anything. But I can tell you probably the coldest one with the wind was Rapids in 2013. Out on Pekegama Lake, it was below zero, but there was 18 to 20 mile an hour winds.
No trees to block it on a lake.
Yeah, and they didn't have heaters on the bench. They had a tent behind the bench where the kids went to dress, and it was heated in there in between periods, but these kids were cold.
Yeah.
I remember one kid, I'm not going to name any names, but I remember one kid that played. I was talking to a kid that was on the team, and he said there was a kid that said that his fingers were freezing up. Like he couldn't feel his fingers for the third period.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was a call. I remember that day. I almost came, I was looking at him, and I almost came over and I said, they say it's going to get cold and windy. Well, I'm glad I didn't, because my kids were pretty young then.
Oh, my goodness.
And it would have been miserable. So, all right, so let's anything else on Hockey Day?
Nope.
All right, so we'll continue with Rock Ridge. So they traveled to the Hibbing Memorial Arena last night for the big rivalry game. Packed house. You want a glimpse of the crowd, check out our YouTube channel. There's a video posted there. And by the way, single A parents, if you want your kids to play in front of a environment like that for the single A semifinals and finals, again, get a hold of people and let's get this thing moved up to the IT Mech in Virginia. So 1-0 Chisholm Hibbing after the first period, then a 6-goal second period. Rockridge tied it 2-2, but then Chisholm Hibbing exploded for 3 goals in less than 5 minutes there in the second. Now we've talked about this Hibbing team earlier in the year, how they score in bunches. Although this year, I think actually, I've been talking to some of the parents about this. They haven't really done that. The last time I think they did it was the Grand Rapids game. They had a 4-goal second period in 8 minutes. But this one, they kind of returned to it. So they had, like I said, 3 goals in less than 5 minutes. Each squad with a Gino in the third, including an empty net goal by Whitaker Rewerts. He had a goal and 2 assists in that contest. Colton Bialke stayed hot also with a goal and 2 assists. So it ends up 6-3 in favor of Chisholm Hibbing. 5 roughing penalties called. No one's surprised at that.
Ya.
Yeah, no one. Zalki was on the call. But yeah, kind of what expected. Full house. It was 6-2 at one point there in the third. And I don't think Rockridge is done yet. 6-3. They had some chances to make it 6-4, 6-5. So on paper, I think most people are saying, Hibbing should win that. Hibbing should win that. And I'd rhetorically say to them, well, I don't know. It's a rivalry game. Anything can happen. Look at Proctor Hermantown. Look at St. Benilde.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's good or bad. That's one of those things. And I know people don't want to say this. Oh, you don't want to bring up the old schools, Virginia and Evelyn. But Virginia versus Hibbing games were always a tilt. Right. I don't care if Hibbing was better that year or Virginia was better that year. Don't expect that it's going to be an easy one. It's going to be a fight to the finish. Now add on top of the mix, add Evelyn and Mesabi East into that little rivalry for the last couple of years, and now start putting some of the bad blood that has been between those two teams the last 3 years. There was a couple of years ago where Coach Johnson got kicked out of that game for something. That last year, there was a bad hit over in Virginia, and Kaz Carlson was suspended for the next game. I mean, there's some bad blood in there, and that rivalry game is as alive as it ever has been.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like I said, the crowd was. I haven't seen a crowd like that in the Memorial Building in a long time. So that.
There had to be 3,500 people there, 4,000 people. Yeah, that place seats a lot.
Yeah, I'd say because they can get 5, so I'd say it's probably 4.
Close, huh?
Maybe,
yeah.
I would say.
Well, I know this barn right here. If you look and you see when this building is full with no seats and all the standing room and everything up in the glass up there, I don't want people to know how many that is because the fire marshal won't like my answer. But the answer is it's over 4,000.
Okay, well, hopefully it gets there this week, and we'll preview that in a minute here. So, all right, anything else on Rockridge, Chisholm Hibbing?
No.
All right, nail the thumbs up right now. We'll get into our previews for this week, presented by Aspire Heating and Control, your local Bryant dealer, and Bryant is the official heating and cooling company of your Minnesota Wild. Aspire specializes in gas, electric, and hydronic heating and cooling systems for existing and new construction. Residential and commercial installations available. Services include forced air systems, boilers, heat pumps, and mini splits. They are licensed and bonded. Give Justin a call, 218-999-5957. Aspire Heating and Control, 218-999-5957. All right, so we talked about a big road win for the Thunderhawks last night. It doesn't get any easier. Got a huge Section 7A, AA game, on Friday. Should probably be another sellout there in Virginia on Friday for you guys.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities for people to see what, again, there was one last night that could potentially have been a section final game. This one on Friday could be potential what a section final game looks like. There's a lot of opportunities to check this out. The building is going to be plump full. I'd say 2,500 to 3,000 people at the new arena there in Virginia. Expect it to be packed in there. If you like that environment, go there in person. If you don't and you don't like standing shoulder to shoulder to somebody, then it's going to be streamed in a couple different places. Rock Ridge has a YouTube page that you can watch that on. They have their home games live on a YouTube page.
Is that the Masabi community?
No, they've got it through, I think, Rock Ridge Athletics or something like
okay.
that. If you type that in, you can find those. If you want to watch, they do a few games a year through the Youth Hockey Hub. Tony Scott and his crew down there with Youth Hockey Hub do what they call Friday Night Ice.
Yep.
A few times a year, and this is going to be a Youth Hockey Hub production Friday Night Ice game on Friday night. Okay. So they're going to do that. Youth Hockey Hub's going to have it going and stream. They're going to have a whole big ordeal. They're going to have stories on there. They interview players. They try to build things up to make this high school hockey thing in Minnesota awesome. And when they talked about this early on, I mean, we actually moved the game from a Thursday night to a Friday night because he wanted to do Friday Night Ice. That was something that came up earlier in the summer when we had the schedule set and said, can we move the game to Fridays? And they no, we can do it on a Friday. And ended up doing it that way. And it's pretty cool when those things, you get that kind of exposure and to make that big of a deal. And Tony and his crew with Youth Hockey Hub do such an awesome job to do those things, to get kids exposure, and they have a lot of fun with it. It's going to be a really big game. And back when they put the schedule together and they thought about, well, this is the one we want to do, in the back of their mind, they're thinking this could be potentially a preview of what a playoff matchup could be for Section 7 AA.
Absolutely. And this is an interesting matchup because not only is it only the second meeting between the two schools, between Rock Ridge and Grand Rapids. Obviously, there was Virginia.
The first one was a tie last year.
Exactly. Right here. The first one was a tie. So it's an interesting matchup, kind of what I'm thinking is as we move forward, this is a young rivalry that's going to develop into a bigger rivalry, as we move forward through the years here.
Yeah, as soon as, as long as both teams are still going to consider being AA, I don't see why Rapids will not. As long as I'm around and still have air in my lungs, I will still fight to make sure this program plays at the highest level.
Yep.
Even if I'm not on the staff, I'll be some little chirp in the background.
Get the petition.
And as long as Rock Ridge continues to do what they're doing, I mean, they have enough numbers to continue to keep playing at this level. This is going to continue to be a rivalry. If they're fighting for spots, seedings, and chances to go to the state tournament between these two teams, this rivalry is only going to grow. And these kids know each other. They've played each other all the way through. These kids are friends with each other when they're off the ice. Sometimes they golf against each other in the summertime, but when they're on the ice, it's battle royale. Like, it's go time. Like, I'm sure there's conversations with some of our seniors and some of their seniors with the Garskis and the Bialkis and the Kaz Carlsons and the Alex Salisburys are probably back and forth going, we're going to give it to him, whatever. I don't even want to give you the ins and outs of what those conversations are because we'll have to bleep it.
Yeah.
It's fun stuff, though. It is fun. As long as everybody in their right mind keeps it fun, right? It doesn't have to be, I hate you.
Right.
You play with that competitive edge, but you do that with respect for the game and respect for the player. And that's why I said last year, after that Hibbing game, when Kaz took that penalty and ended up getting kicked out for the next game, and then he's sitting when we're playing against them, like, I was bummed. I wanted to see Kaz Carlson skating in our barn last year. So I'm glad that nobody got kicked out of that game on Tuesday, because as much as I want to see Rock Ridge's best when we play them, Coach Niskanen wants to see Grand Rapids' best too.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah.
For
absolutely.
sure.
Yeah. So, like I said, it could be a big preview. So that will be, like I said, Friday night in Virginia. Okay, then Chisholm Hibbing Tomorrow night, Thursday night, we'll host the sneaky Superior Spartans in an LSC battle. We kind of talked a little bit about Superior this year. They beat Marshall, a 1-0 loss to a tough CEC team last night in Cloquet on the road. So Hibbing's kind of got their work cut out for them. They can't take the night off. That's for sure.
No, that's kind of you're getting into the nuts and bolts of what you have to do in order to solidify the number 1 or the number 2 seed, right? You have to make sure that you take care of business all the way through the 25th game of the year, right? Yep. We're looking at the same thing. We've got big games. We got to win them in order to get the seed that we need. Hey, your season's not over. You got how many games left? 5, 6 games left?
Yeah. Well, 3, 4. I was just looking at most people.
You got to finish. You got to finish as hard as you started. So if they got 3, 4 games left, they're all just as important as the last ones. And I'm sure that message is being pumped out there from the coaching staff. I'm sure those seniors that have had so much success all the way through youth hockey with the Hibbing Chisholm Blue Jackets are saying the same thing. Like this is business right now. As much as this is fun to be playing and we're in the position that we're in, like we got to be dialed.
Yeah.
Make sure that we're locked in here through the end.
Yep. And that will be a game at the Memorial Building in Hibbing as well. All right, scores and more. Presented by Fortune Bay Resort and Casino on beautiful Lake Vermilion. Fortune Bay offers 172 rooms and a smoke-free resort, indoor pool, RV park, world-class golf, several dining options, a bar, and all the gaming you can handle. Visit fortunebay.com for more details. Plan your trip in a minute, right while you're listening to us. The weather's supposed to be better this weekend. You want to do a little fishing, you want to do a little snowmobiling, you want to do both. You get your game on, get a hotel room. It's all available up there, fortunebay.com. Of course, Super Bowl, we talked about that. You want to get away for the Super Bowl the following weekend. Like I said, check them out, fortunebay.com. Ely, 8-1 victors over Spooner. Warroad, with number 4 Warroad, with a thumping over rival Roseau, 7-0. Brainerd, 4-2 win over Denfeld. Number 7 Cloquet with a 9-0 win over Denfeld.
Ooh.
Here's the big one. Number 15 debut. Despite being outshot 32-27 on the road on Saturday, the International Falls Broncos defeated number 14 Northern Lakes 5-3 on Saturday afternoon. So now they debut at number 15. Like I said, it's been probably a decade or so. We kind of discussed
a long time.
Yeah,
not being in those top 20 rankings, but a lot of years. It's a lot of hard work, and there's been a lot of dips in that program where they've dipped below. Like, oh God, I hope they can get out of this. What a bunch of work that's been put into that program to dig them out of there and start making an identity again for the Broncos. This is one of the oldest, most successful programs in the state of Minnesota.
100%, yeah.
Just like Eveleth. I mean, this was after Eveleth had their big run, there was a huge run there with a lot of teams from International Falls that were really, really phenomenal. And I like to see these old school teams rekindle their success. I like it.
Yep. So congrats to everyone up there, Coach Baldwin. And Coach Baldwin, as a matter of fact, we interviewed Coach Baldwin, I believe it was the summer of 24, so you can go back, but he's the International Falls coach, and he talks a little bit about the tradition, how they relay it to the kids. So check that out. So like I said, number 15, I Falls, congratulations. 5 teams from Section 7 in the top 20. So
wow.
Hermantown, Hibbing, Cloquet, Proctor, and all the Falls. So what were you saying last week? Is it Section 7 isn't dead or something like that?
It's
or
not.
A couple weeks ago, So things are looking good.
In Section 7 for Single A, whoever comes out of that section is winning the state championship.
This could be pretty likely, yes. Roseau, 5-3 winners over Crookston. Duluth East fell to Totino Grace 4-3. The Green Ray Raiders back in the winning column again. 5 rip over Ely. Hermantown Downs Matamidi 6-2.
Bemidji. My case.
Bemidji dropped by Detroit Lakes 4-3. North Shore down by Pie City 5-1. Chisholm, maybe just real quick, 2 other big wins on the road over the weekend. Well, one got canceled on Friday due to the weather, so they do it Monday. But a 4-2 road win at Warroad, 4-3 win out at East Grand Forks. And then we talked a little bit about Rock Ridge with the 4-1 loss to St. Thomas Academy on Hockey Day. And of course, the Walleye Scotty Dynam Hornets update. Edina with the 5-1 win over STMA. They avenged the loss from the 2-1 loss on January 8th. So
there you go. They needed it.
Yeah, they needed it.
What was the final on that one?
5-1.
Oof.
So it was 2-1 loss
Wow.
January 8th, and yeah, they came back a statement win there a little bit. Said, hey, we're back. Okay, Rockridge's Rory Scuffy. We talked, who was it last? Haley Forrest got that scholarship, Hockey Day in Minnesota. Well, Rory Scuffy from Rockridge did it as well. So congratulations to the Rockridge forward. Right here at Yanmar, Saturday, 4 p.m. The Hall of Fame game. The Mankato State women will be here, along with the Bemidji State Beaver women. Like I said, 4 o'clock. Mercury Bischoff, who was Miss Hockey last year, I don't really want to call her a freshman. Freshwoman? Freshman? I don't know what that, I don't know.
First year.
What the correct verbiage is.
I'm not even going to get into that.
But yeah, Mercury making a return, so I plan on being here. Should be pretty funny. You're talking about a full house. I'm hoping for the girls this is a full house, because as we know, they don't play in front of large crowds as often as the men, and so I'm hoping that we can pack this place and it could be a success, and maybe they can do it every year, every other year, every few years. Whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to bring that to town here, and especially, a big time women's hockey game. It's I'm sure Coach Hajduk is excited about that. All that does is bring more excitement to girls hockey in the area.
Yep, and speaking of Coach Hajduk, so some of the funds raised will go to a charity called Foster Hope. I don't know a lot about it, and the GRG Lightning Booster Club. So
awesome.
Come on down on, like I said, 4 o'clock Saturday right here at Yanmar. Hobie Baker candidates announced. So I'm still in the running here. So some of the local boys, Ty Hansen, Hermantown.
Oof.
The Plant brothers from Hermantown. Like I said, I said weeks ago that Max Plant will be the Hobie this year. The Slakinski brothers from World. So is this the first time? I wonder. Someone look this up. Put it in the comments. First time ever a tandem of brothers are.
I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is
and
pretty
out of the ones that you named, 3 of them are from Hermantown.
Yeah, 3 of them are from Hermantown. Wow. It's pretty incredible. And then Eric Polkamp, the former Bemidji Beaver, he broke a lot of our hearts. He's a Baxter boy, and then he played a year. I think he led the team in scoring as a freshman defenseman, and then to Denver. So
yep.
Ty Hansen, the Plant brothers, Lakinski brothers, Eric Polkamp are the locals, so best wishes to all of them. And then a big birthday on Saturday.
Youngblood.
Holy, one of the best, or the best
I
hockey
think
movie
so.
of all
I like
time?
Slapshot too, but I think it's Youngblood or Miracle are the 2 best for the game. I love it. It's perfect. And I've been hearing rumors that they've got they're making any other.
Well, that's what we talked. Yeah, so March 6th, which actually will be bad timing for Minnesota people, because that's during the state high school. I'm pretty sure the tourney starts, I think Wednesday is the 6th. Anyway, but yeah, if you hear any more rumors about that, and like you said, I don't know why we didn't get a cameo in that thing, but
yeah,
so
what's going on? Come on.
That's bad. So yeah, but the movie Youngblood turns 40 on Saturday. It was released on January 31st, 1986. All right, Coach. That wraps episode 125. Anything to add?
Nope, sounds wonderful.
All right, so please leave us a review if you can. Share it. We appreciate that. Like I said, follow us. We talked about followers at the beginning. Like I said, following and leaving a review is a great way to support the show at no cost to you. We are pretty much everywhere. Find us on X under T McGill. We are under T with Miss McGill. If you look on Instagram, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, and if you're looking for us on YouTube or Facebook, it's Goat Sports Media LLC. As a matter of fact, I looked earlier today, we're at 897 followers just on Facebook. So who will be the 900th? Follow us and you might get your name shouted out next week. And if you're looking for us on Rumble, it's Goat Sports, one word. Of course, merch is creeping towards Valentine's here. St. Valentine's, I should say. So we're creeping. So if you need the perfect gift for that somebody, let us know. We got caps, hoodies, T-shirts, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal will take care of all that for you. And just a big thank you to the greatest partners on earth, by Waback Family and Virginia Family Dental, Aspire Heating and Control, the Ring Sports Bar and Grill, Arrow Auto Glass and Door, Fortune Bay Resort and Casino, Zorba's of Grand Rapids, Iron Range Goalie Academy, Grand Rapids Chevrolet GMC, Minnesota Hockey Camps, the Jackson Hole Mooks Hockey Club, shout out TJ Thomas, Iron Range Plumbing and Heating, and Integral Hockey Twin Ports. For Reed Larson, I am Puka. Get out there and be your dream. You're tuned to the Goat Sports Media Audio Network, cleaned by Virginia Family Dental.
All right, fellas. You just can't get the hockey itch out of yourself. The college route isn't for you. Community college route isn't for you. The junior hockey route isn't for you. Well, there's still hockey that you can play. Why don't you check out the Jackson Hole Moose out in Jackson, Wyoming? Take a look at these guys. Full crowds, full hockey, packed houses every night. Get a hold of TJ Thomas on Facebook, and he can get you hooked up with what's going on out there in Jackson Hole.
Integral Hockey Twin Ports offers top-of-the-line junior, intermediate, and senior sticks for sale. Integral also repairs shafts, blades, and goalie sticks using their patented process that restores your stick's original performance. Same flex, same kick point. Shaft and blade repairs come with a lifetime warranty at the repair spot, so you can trust your stick to perform game after game. Give Sand a call, 218-940-9089.
Would you like to hear about Zorba's specials? On Mondays, it's Micro Monday. All taps are just $4. Tuesdays, $3 tacos and $4 Dos Equis. Wednesdays, personal pizzas, $8 and domestic taps, $4. Thursdays, we have deals on nachos and $5 surly taps. We offer trivia on Wednesdays at 6 p.m., bingo on Thursday at 6 p.m., and then karaoke Thursdays at 10 p.m. Goat Sports.